NBC7's Nightly Check-In is sponsored by Bill Howe Plumbing, Heating and Air, Flood and Restoration.
We know how.
The sports world, including the Padres, are responding to the shooting of Jacob Blake by canceling their games tonight. It's a statement professional athletes say they hope will help create change. Thanks for joining us for the Nightly Check-In. I'm Mark Mullen. So the Padres were supposed to play the Mariners tonight, who agreed to sit out the game this evening. The Mariners have more black players on the roster than any other MLB team and discussed their decision with the Padres. They follow the Brewers and Reds, who were set to play in Milwaukee tonight, which is just about 40 miles from Kenosha, where the controversial shooting happened. Earlier today, the Milwaukee Bucks of the NBA were the first team to elect not to play, and as a result of that, all three of tonight's NBA playoff games have now been postponed. Tonight, we're learning new details about what led to the shooting of Blake in Wisconsin. It is the first time law enforcement has provided any details since Blake was shot by police Sunday. Attorney General Josh Kaul said officers responded to a home due to a report of domestic abuse. Kaul said officers asked Blake to leave and used a taser, but it did not work. He says Blake then walked to his car, opened the door, and leaned forward. That is when an officer shot Blake 7 times in the back. Attorney General Kaul also addressed the deadly shooting last night during a protest over Blake's shooting.
What happened yesterday night in Kenosha was despicable. 2 people were shot and killed, and a 3rd person was shot and seriously injured.
A 17-year-old has been arrested in connection with the shooting. The suspect, Kyle Rittenhouse, faces a charge of first-degree intentional homicide. Today, county officials say they are working to meet the California Department of Public Health guidelines that require teachers and school staff to get tested for coronavirus. They say children who plan on going back to school for in-person instruction do not need to get a coronavirus test if they are not showing any symptoms. However, officials do encourage parents to consult with their own pediatricians or call 211 if they're unsure about whether or not their child should get a COVID test. County supervisors also announced $5 million more in the new budget to expand testing for teachers and school staff.
With more than 80,000 school employees in the region, this is obviously a huge undertaking. San Diego County is home to 42 districts, 127 charter schools, and nearly 200 private schools. Given the diversity of our schools and the size of the county, specifics of testing plans, timelines, and logistics will vary.
Meantime, San Diego's coronavirus case rate continues to be below the threshold. Today, the 2-week average is 80.2 for every 100,000 people. As for new cases, 228 new ones were reported today out of about 8,000 tests. That's a 3% positive test rate. It's pretty good. In total, there are now 37,222 cases. Sadly, 3 new deaths were also reported, bringing the total to 668. That's just in San Diego County. Some people who've been exposed to COVID-19 may no longer need to be tested for the virus. The CDC now states that those who have been in close contact with an infected person do not necessarily need a test as long as they do not have symptoms. However, the agency says exceptions may be made for vulnerable individuals or if doctors or public health officials recommend testing. As devastating wildfires continue to burn in Northern California, firefighters and city leaders are asking everyone here to be ready. Today, San Diego Mayor Kevin Faulconer joined several firefighters to show off some of the city's new firefighting equipment, including a new state-of-the-art Firehawk helicopter. It can fly at night, drop 1,000 gallons of water at a time, and refill in about 45 seconds. And that's not all.
Fires that are a little spotty, maybe spread out, we can actually split our loads. So instead of putting all the water on one spot, we can actually assist different parts of the fire at the same time with it before we have to go back and get more water.
And the Firehawk isn't the only new tool in their arsenal. A couple of months ago, the city got 8 new fire engines as well as 2 new brush rigs. Okay, let's check in now with Dagmar when things are hopefully going to start cooling down soon.
We're taking a look at weather for Thursday that will be probably the hottest day this week. A pretty close second tier Wednesday, really. So the coast will end up seeing those low, stubborn clouds, and that's going to keep temperatures down. You'll be in that low to mid 80 mark in the inland valleys. Plenty of sunshine. You'll see the mid to upper 90s. Mountains, you will see the upper 80s and the low 90s. And the desert still at around the 112, 13, 14, and 15 mark. So this ridge of high pressure is slowly breaking down, but we're still left with some watches and warnings. Keep in mind, mind that excessive heat warning is in effect for us until Thursday night. And if you've been thinking about getting a pet, well, all month long, NBC7 and Telemundo 20 have been teaming up to help you help us clear the shelters. So this campaign is we found homes for well over 1,000 animals so far, and there are so many more that need a forever home. Maybe it's yours. So take a look at this little guy. This is Bobby. Bobby is just 7 years old, and he would make a very loving and a sweet companion for an older, more patient adult. So no kitties, or kiddos, maybe not even kittens either. However, Bobby is a very special case because he has a heart condition and he will need medicine daily for the rest of his life. He's currently being cared for by the Chihuahua Rescue Center of San Diego. Will Bobby find his way into your home, your heart? I hope so. For more information, all you have to do is head over to our website, NBC7.com/community.
NBC7's Nightly Check-In is sponsored by Bill Howe Plumbing, Heating and Air, Flood and Restoration.
Call 1-800-BILL-HOWE. Bill Howe. We know how.
Bill Howe adapts with the needs of the community. That's why we offer virtual estimates, a safe and easy alternative for in-home estimates on repairs for plumbing, heating and air, and flood services.
Because we know how.
A new study from the U.S. Census Bureau shows that COVID-19 is leaving 44% of Californians anxious and depressed in recent weeks. One expert with whom we spoke says she's surprised that number is not higher.
My requests for therapy have quadrupled the last couple of weeks.
Monica Maria Grace is a clinical psychologist in La Mesa. She says she has been getting a lot more requests for patients feeling anxious and depressed. According to the survey, nearly 3 in 4 Californians surveyed reported not being able to stop or control worrying. And an alarming 71% reported feeling down, depressed, or even hopeless. Even with the concern the rising numbers bring, Grace says there is a silver lining.
People are realizing that there are resources out there that they can reach out and utilize for them to develop resilience and recover their mental health.
The surveys were part of the partnership between the National Center for Health Statistics and the Census Bureau to provide relevant data on the coronavirus impact. About 900,000 Americans participated. That's going to do it for our nightly check-in. I'm Mark Mullen. Be safe. Have a good night.